Welcome to the Think Loud Crew podcast. We are three moms getting real with parenting, relationships, and the WTF moments of our lives. My name is R.
And I'm Shannon.
And I'm Cheyenne, and this is take two.
Take two. Cheyenne prayed at the beginning of the take. She said,
"Oh, I just had to. I don't understand what just happened. We literally just filmed like a whole minute and probably would have kept going if you. It was
a really good minute too.
We still have it, so I'm praying that
Travis can still use it.
Travis, can you use it?
See, this is what happens when we shoot it at the house and not in the studio. At the studio, we don't have to turn our brains on. We just sit down and talk. At home,
here we have to think.
We got
to make sure the camera's right. We have to make
Look how close we're sitting to each other.
I'm happy that we love each other, because if we didn't, this energy would really suck. If we didn't, I was already telling the girls I didn't put deodorant on. So I said,
I honestly don't smell you. I swear my phone just gave you a thumbs down when you said I don't put deodorant on. I swear that bubble thumb popped up.
I don't understand how those bubble thumbs come up. Like when you celebrate.
I'm sorry,
I didn't put deodorant on. The thumbs down thing came up.
It said you stink, girl.
I really want to know. I'm so curious now.
But I really don't stink. I don't.
So why aren't you wearing deodorant today?
Well, I got lasered yesterday, and I just feel like after I got lasered, I don't know if you guys got lasered, so you're not supposed to put deodorant on before you get lasered. Right. So I just feel like...
And you're not supposed to for the day.
Yeah.
Like, I think it irritates you for the day. But the day is over. In case you were wondering, Shannon, it's over now.
Well, I just naturally smell amazing. I'm just kidding.
I feel like you're a type who uses like
I'm not
native.
No.
Or like, what's that other pure one where you smell crystal. Like candles? And Zach be loving native.
Those
he be getting like
really?
snickerdoodle. I'm like, you're
he gets like the scents.
He gets the scents, and they're so strong. But
are they? But do they work?
I mean, he doesn't stink as much as he showers. He could probably be like one of those people who don't wear deodorant because he showers so much. But sometimes like I'll walk in and he's like putting like vanilla deodorant on, and I'm just like, the fuck do you want your armpits to smell like vanilla? And he's like, these are seasonal flavors or something. Like these are seasonal scents. They have like seasonal scents.
Up.
So it's like during Christmas time they have like
you keep looking at my armpits
or like cookies and stuff. Like
next time I see Zach, I'm gonna be like, hey brother,
right? Let me get a whiff.
What summer scent are you wearing?
No, like he really likes native deodorant.
That's good to know.
I'm happy for him.
Yeah,
but I'm not one of those people.
You're not. I always thought you were.
No.
Oh, you wear Secret. I like Secret.
Do you?
Yeah, I like Secret, and I like Dove deodorant.
I like Dove too.
Oh, I don't use Dove.
I hate the deodorant my mom uses. It's like the
clinical
and it's
Secret.
like the one that's like not liquidy, but like
gel.
It's like
where
gel. You like click it and it like comes out. I don't know. I hate that one.
It always makes me feel like I'm sweating.
It makes me feel wet. Yes. Yeah.
That's so at Ace's birthday party.
You had that
I forgot
on?
my deodorant and I was wearing hers, and all day
she was like, I'm sweating.
Am I sweating?
Oh my gosh. I thought Ace's birthday party was going to be freezing outside because all week it said 60 and then it said 64. And then I was like, dang. And then my mom says, you need to get heaters because the worst thing is to have this party and everybody be cold. So then I ordered 5 heaters to start with, right? And then I kept checking the weather every day and it kept inching up. It went from cloudy to sunny. And then like the day before it said it was going to be like 70 something with the sun out. And where we live, when the sun is out, it's hot. Like it's just hot. So then I called
like direct sunlight.
Yeah, I called Corey, the event planner. I'm like, can you try to cancel the heaters? And she said they'll let you cancel, but you have to keep one.
Stop it.
There was one heater at the party that never got turned on.
It was so warm. I thought it was because in Altadena it was like it was cooler. So I literally had a black long sleeve jeans. I thought I was about to be. I was like, okay, like
I had shorts. I committed.
Y'all
no matter what.
Prepared.
It was hot. It was a beautiful day.
It was beautiful, but I was hot as balls. My inside thighs were sticking, And the boob sweat. I had a dress on. The boob sweat was there.
Did you have one of your things underneath the dress?
I did not.
Oh.
It was skin to dress.
Well, you were snatched, baby.
Oh, wow.
Booty was bootying.
I'll take it. I'll take it.
Good,
thanks, guys. Thanks.
Again, you had a wonderful birthday party for Ace.
Thank you. It was a good day. He had a lot of fun. I had a lot of fun.
Cora did a great job planning.
Yeah, she did.
It was really nice.
She always does a good job.
Should you guys scoot over this way? I feel like Cheyenne's head is like barely in here.
We're really close again. I'm so happy to see you laughing, Shannon, because I feel like when you came in, I was watching you on the camera, not to be a creep, but you didn't look happy.
Like as jovial as she usually is.
You looked like you were glum.
I feel like I am. I feel like it comes in waves, as in like with my mom and my dad too. But I think today was a kind of a glum day.
Why?
Yesterday I've been struggling with my blood pressure, and my blood pressure I believe my blood pressure comes mainly when I'm overly stressed or have a lot of things just going on. So with my brother passing and with all the grieving and just everything that's me trying to be a good mom and all these things.
Yeah.
I just had an episode, came out of nowhere.
When you say
what happens with an episode?
Yeah,
sorry.
I don't know if to call it an episode or what, but when I know that something's going on with my body, my vision gets very blurry. I start seeing like twinkles and my eyes get really heavy and my body just feels like it's shutting down. So then that's when I go ahead and check my blood pressure and see what's going on. And that happened like later in the day yesterday. Everything was fine. And I was, I think I was just,
going.
Literally going. And when Parker got home, everything was just like.
How often have the episodes happen?
So I feel like I haven't. You know what? One thing that I did take away from my doctor's visit, and I'll talk about that soon, is that he was telling me to record for like a couple weeks of like
food journal,
like write it down
like and checking my blood pressure, because I normally don't check my blood pressure, and I should.
One of the machines at home?
I have two. My mom has a machine and I have a machine, and so just checking it regularly, I think, is a big thing that I need to start to like bring into my daily life.
Yeah.
So it doesn't happen that often.
But it has happened
before. It has happened before.
When it happened the first time, what did you do?
I just kind of took my mom's advice. My mom struggles with high blood pressure, so I took her advice and like elevated my feet, cold cloth on my forehead, and just kind of like chilled. And also taking away, like putting more berries into my diet, like eating raspberry. I think it's raspberries and blueberries that help lower your blood pressure. And some other, I'm a very holistic type. I don't like taking medicine. So I think that was my biggest thing for not going to the doctor. But this time around, I was like, you know what? With my brother passing, which is everything that's going on, I'm like, let me really like
go check on this.
And like, let me go get answers that I want. Let me figure out how I can regulate it and make it okay, because I'm so young.
Yeah.
So I did that yesterday, and I went to urgent care.
You went to the doctor.
I went to the doctor yesterday because first my mom was like, we checked my blood pressure. She was like, do you want to stay at home and lay it out and like see how you feel? So I did that for a little bit. I laid on the couch and was just trying to chill. But then I was just like, I was not feeling good. My body was just not, I'm like, is it me grieving? Is it me just my anxiety being heightened? Just everything was just going.
It was a long weekend.
It was a long weekend. So just everything was just, I was like, what the hell?
You're just trying to figure it out.
Yeah. So I tried to figure it out, sat at home. Then I was like, you know what? No. I'm going to go to urgent care. I'm going to figure it out. So I have Medi-Cal. So the first urgent care denied me because I had urgent Medi-Cal. So I'm like,
I didn't know that urgent cares can deny.
I didn't know either.
I thought that was the point. Was like it's urgent, so you have to care for me.
So care for me. I need your help.
And then worry about the billing later.
Yeah, I always thought that urgent cares meant like you can go. Yeah,
I thought that too. So I went in. And she was like, okay, give me your card, whatever. And I gave her my card, and she's like, oh, we don't take Medi-Cal. And I was like, okay, well then can I pay?
Yeah.
And she said no because you have Medi-Cal. I said, okay. I said, well, I'm not feeling good. I'm like, so you'd rather me walk? I was getting heated because I was like, so you're gonna what if something happened to me and then I just left? And I was like, okay. So then my mom went to another one.
I was about to ask, were you by yourself or was someone with you?
No, my mom went because of my blurred vision and just the state I was in. It's not good to drive or anything like that. So my mom was like, okay, well, I was really snappy. I was like, what the fuck? So I looked up what urgent cares take Medi-Cal. Mm-hmm. So I went to one, and then
I'm stuck on the urgent care denying you. I'm about to Google it because I really thought that
no, not all
urgent cares were open to take everyone.
And I think that's so crazy. And
yeah, because what if you're standing there with like a knife in your head? Like, are you gonna tell me no you got Medi-Cal, I can't take you? Like,
they might be like, you need to go to emergency.
Right, but like,
isn't urgent care and emergency the same thing?
No, emergency.
I don't think so.
Urgent care is like they can like take vitals and like blood work and stuff like that. Emergency is like more like
trauma, maybe
trauma related,
or just everything.
I could have gone to emergency.
Maybe that's what I'm thinking of, is walking into emergency
room.
And
they have to take
they
you.
have to take
yes,
you.
they do.
Urgent care is more like a smaller clinic, right?
Yes,
got it. Okay,
but still. Anyway, so we
still,
I was like,
because we have urgent care right here, and I remember there was one time Zach went and they didn't take him, and we have Blue Shield, but he didn't have the actual card on him,
and they didn't take him,
and he had to come back home to get it to go back, even though he had already been there before and they had it on file. I feel like urgent cares are a little bit more strict.
I've had issues at this urgent care. It was the same thing. I didn't have a physical thing, and I was like, "You can run my social. I can show you a
something.
picture.
Just take me." And like and then you were by yourself. I don't have the energy.
Yeah, I feel like urgent cares are a lot more strict than like an emergency. Walking into emergency, I'm picturing you walking into emergency and getting denied. So it's like, no, is that allowed?
No.
Okay.
No. But then I went to the other one. And it was, when I got into a room, they did take my vitals and everything, and my blood pressure was in fact very high for my age. I feel like I'm 34 years old and I shouldn't be having to go through these kind of things, but in fact, my mom, I think at a young age, started having these issues as well, so it is hereditary.
So it runs
in the family, which is why another reason why I want to make sure that I am on top of it, because my health is number one priority.
Yeah.
So
what does your mom take? Blood pressure medicine? Is it something that she's like actively dealing with every day?
She no longer takes blood pressure medicine, but she has recently. Her and my dad have, because of medical things and her not feeling like she's getting the right attention she needs, they have both. They're going to this like holistic doctor, or like a whole different type of doctor, which is really cool, and they're helping them regulate like their diet, having them detox, and then doing these different things with their bodies.
Yeah.
So, and it's really cool. So they're both on this I don't know if it's holistic way, but like it's like a different medicine doctor.
It's not like Western medicine.
Yes, it's not Western medicine.
Are they using like herbs and whatnot?
So they're not using herbs, but they're taking out things of their diet and then putting it back in, detoxing, doing a bunch of like check-in type of things. But I don't know exactly what it is. When I find out, I'll let you guys know. But she was telling me yesterday after we were coming home, that's, you know, she was like, this is why
I've been doing what I'm doing.
Yeah, because she's like, I get so annoyed every time her blood pressure gets really high. And she's like, when we go to urgent care or the doctor, they just, you know, send me off.
Yeah.
Kind of brush you away.
And that's what happened. That's what I experienced yesterday. Literally it didn't be seen. I was in that room for a long ass time. And when the doctor came, he literally came in stumbling. And I was like,
stumbling how?
He walked in.
Let me hold your mic.
He walked in and then he was like this. He walked in the door and he went like that. I was like,
are we falling?
Are you drunk?
Falling? Yes.
Are you drunk? Are you sleepy?
Instinct was like, hell no, this dude is not fucking coming in this room drunk.
Was he older, younger?
He was older, and that's the first thing that came to my mind. Are you drunk coming to help me? And I wanted so badly for him to come close to me so I can smell
his breath. Can I smell your breath while you take my blood pressure, please?
But yeah,
what would he even do in that kind of situation?
I don't know. So then I'm like, okay, maybe he's just. It's been a long day. It was like, then it was like 8:00. So I'm like, okay, maybe he's tired. And then even that, I think a doctor shouldn't.
They got to get it together.
Get it together for your patient. You know, we've waited a long time. I expect to get what everyone else energies you've gotten given to everybody, you know, the same way.
Yeah.
So the whole time I was telling him, was trying to get information. Like, I was like, you know, I'm dealing with this, blah, 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 blah. And he was just literally like this, leaning on his hand, yawning.
Sir, I'm going to need you to look alive for about 10 minutes.
So I spoke up. I said, oh, I'm so sorry that you're so tired right now. He's like, oh, no. He just yawned. And like, I'm like,
oh my God.
Was there like an assistant or like a nurse?
No.
Just him?
It was just him. And then he brought in nurse because he was like, oh, do you want me to bring somebody in when I take your...
Yep.
Yep. I said, yep.
I do, actually.
Actually, because I don't know it, you're gone. But yeah, it was just, he really gave me the runaround and basically, to sum it all up, basically told me that I looked fine to him. He didn't even remember how high it was when the lady took it. He was like, oh, I looked at the papers, but I don't remember. Just all these things just red flags. And so at the end of it, I just, I'm like, my blood pressure is getting up higher because you're pissing me off.
Yeah.
So I just told him, I said, well, is there anything that you can help me? Anything you could give me? He's like, yeah, I could give you something, but then that means you would have to be on pills for a while and figure it out. And I said, well, in my head, and I would just, at that point, I was just like, you know what? This is not where I need to be right now with
with this energy.
Yeah. Like, I need somebody to be.
You didn't feel cared for. You didn't feel like this was a doctor who was here to actually answer your questions.
Do you have a primary?
No. So I'm in the
trying to figure
it out. And I've been doing my research today because that really irked my whole nerve.
Yeah.
And like, it made I want to report him, all these things, because I'm like, no doctor should be treating anybody like that. I don't know. It just rubbed me.
I would definitely follow up and do
totally
like a
wrong way.
Some kind of
complaint. Yeah. Because, sir.
Yeah, that's crazy.
So when you left, did he actually give you anything?
No.
Did you?
When I left,
the only thing you walked away with from that was that you should start to write down
my blood pressure.
Your blood pressure.
And he kept telling me, he's like, there are some, medicines that could help and do that. And he was telling me all these things that could help me.
But wouldn't they need to draw your blood and run further tests to figure all that out?
And then, that's what he said. He said, if we do blood test and do all these things, sometimes it doesn't even matter. And I'm like, is this medical gaslighting? Am I tripping right now?
Everything he was suggesting. Have you ever had different insurance than Medi-Cal?
Before Parker, yes. But I feel like this is in a long time that I'm like, you know, actively trying to like make sure that my health and, you know, just getting older, I think it's so important for us women to make sure that everything is like.
Yeah. No, I think I was trying to see if maybe if you've had a different one and then you got different experiences based off of your insurance. Of that.
No, I feel like I've never had that experience before. I feel like I've never been treated that way. But I don't know.
Kyle, what about you?
Have you ever?
I know you've had your fair share of like switching insurances, figuring out insurance and stuff.
I don't even want to think about insurance going back and forth between
right. It's such
LA and DC for me and the boys. It like I learned so much about the insurance industry, having to find insurance, having to find doctors that even take your insurance.
Right, it's that.
Choosing between like a PPO and an HMO. Like at this point, I'm always like private insurance. Like that's how we were raised and that's how we grew up. And I remember when I turned, was it 26 and they boot you off?
Yeah.
I think
it was like 28 for
Lord.
me. Yeah.
Lord, what am I going to do?
Hold on, wait.
Yeah. No. And I remember I had like regular, like just HMO insurance because I'm young. I don't know anything. I didn't have kids yet. And I had experiences where I was like, I hope this doesn't come across like crazy, but I would go into places and I would be like, I would just feel like dirty, or I'd be like, I'm going to get treatment here, you know?
Yeah.
And it's like, those were the options that I had. So then I was back. I was like, I got to get my PPO back. Then I was paying for private insurance again. And private insurance as an entrepreneur, as a single person is like, it's not cheap.
Yeah.
And then when
if you guys knew how much I paid a month
in insurance, it's stupid.
In insurance, it is ridiculous.
So crazy.
It's stupid.
It's actually ridiculous.
It's crazy how.
And for Ryder has
to have like a special insurance because she's classified as having a rare disease. So because of that, like we have to always jump through loopholes to get her stuff. So like she has to have a special insurance, and then certain things that we have for Ace in place she can't get because of her having a rare disease. So like example, like we have a IUL account for Ace, which is almost like a life insurance account where you put money into it and then it helps with like the kids' taxes later and just like to build them. This is how you make like when you hear the term like millionaire babies or like trust fund babies and stuff like that. So like with Ace, we have an account where we put $500 a month in, and then it's like by the time he's like 21, I don't know.
He'll have some shmoney.
Can someone help me out?
What is it?
$500. No,
times 12.
Times 12.
So 6,000
times.
So he'll have
500. What?
So we started at 1
times 12.
So 500 times 12 times.
So that times
21. So by the time he's 21, it will be a little over $100,000. And the idea is that like this is money that he can use for a college fund or a business venture, but just like trying to build that fund up for him. We wanted to do the same thing for Ryder, but then they came and they were like, they pulled her medical records and they're like, you can't have one for her because of her medical history.
Interesting.
Yeah, but it's like the same way, like if someone tries to get life insurance and they have like a terminal disease or something, then like they're not going to give you life insurance. You're not going to qualify. So I learned a lot when we were going through that. And then I also learned a lot with insurance because the Ryder has to have like top insurance for her condition. And then I have a PPO because I wanted to be able to choose my doctors because I felt like I wasn't done having kids yet. I feel like maybe when I'm done having kids, then I can get like an HMO and not really care about my doctor as much. But then it's also like the older you get, like the more you want to care about your doctor.
Yes.
I've been in the phase of having an HMO right now, just as I'm like in my transition, and it's just how Shannon's experience, like it's kind of driving me crazy. So this summer, I'm like, I got to get my insurance switched back over. It's just so expensive.
It is expensive. But I think after having that experience, I'm for sure gonna try to switch over or figure things out because I don't want to have that experience again. And I shouldn't be treated, or no one should be treated just like being brushed off, especially like if he would have checked me more or whatever, like that blood work or whatever the case may have been.
You just didn't feel like he was being diligent.
No, all he wanted to do is all the what ifs and sat down and just talked and gave me just these runarounds. And he could have been doing.
Yeah, I'm sorry, done something more experienced.
So I'm like, when I went into the car, because like I just wanted to cut him off. I'm like, okay, is there anything you can do for me right now before I go home? And he was like, no, I looked you over. You look fine.
And I think that's the other triggering part. He's like, I'm looking
at you now. You look.
For him to say, I think you look fine, it's just very triggering, and it reminds me of everything I'm learning in like the black maternal health, how our pain is not seen as real. Like we're supposed to just like endure and like push through these things. So when we actually really are in pain, it's not seen as real pain. It's not.
There was an episode on that on The Resident. Any of my Snapchat followers, we've been watching The Resident together, and there was an episode on that, and Zach
about black health.
Yeah, like there was a mom that was dying. In labor and she was dying, and I didn't watch the episode yet. I mean, I've seen it at this point, but this day that I was watching it, I had to leave and I came back, and Zach, I guess, sat there and watched it, and y'all know he does not like to watch Resident with me. No. So I get home and he's like, you gotta watch that last episode. Like it was so triggering and it was so emotional, and then I watched it and I sat there and sobbed, and I'm like, I can't believe you watched this without me.
Watch it again.
It was crazy. And then at the end they showed like the real lady that it was based off of, and her husband started like a whole foundation based off of his wife passing after labor. She had given birth and then was complaining that like her stomach was still really hurting, and like he was like screaming at doctors to come help. Doctors were like, we'll be there in a second, like it just, he just kept getting brushed off, and she's literally screaming in pain, and he like explains it. And like they like FaceTime the other daughter, and she like talked to the daughter, like passed out mid talk, like all these crazy things. And each time the doctors kept on saying, she's fine, we're gonna check her in a minute. It's just like after labor pain and stuff. And then it ended up that she was like internally bleeding and like hemorrhaging, and then she ended up passing that day. And the craziest scene was at the end of him walking out the hospital with the baby. Like to walk in with your wife and your pregnant wife, and to walk out without has to be the fucking fucked up most shit ever. So I was on the couch sobbing, literally sobbing.
That's very triggering, and that's how
yeah.
They don't care, or they don't. Yeah, like you said.
So I think that is why it is important to, like, as a black person in America, you do need to have that PPO so that you can choose your doctor and actually be able to like build a rapport and make sure that it's someone who will advocate for you how you advocate for yourself, or someone who's going to listen and take that extra step to be like, let's do these things.
But like the reality of being able to afford insurance is not always people's reality.
It's not always
reality. So for me, if I was someone that was pregnant and I couldn't afford to have that insurance, I would try to find at least an advocate for myself that understands labor, whether that's like a doula or midwife. Like a midwife. Like I would try to find, I would save just for that, that expense alone, to have that for myself, because I feel like that's so important. Like even when I was giving birth to Ace, like I kind of like skimmed through books. I read books a lot when I was pregnant with Bri because I just knew nothing about anything. But with Ace, it was like, I've been there, done that. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So I was giving books to Zach because I'm like, you need to know what's also happening with my body, so you know how to advocate for me when I can't advocate for myself. And that was such like a big lesson for him to learn as a man who's not physically going through the labor, but watching someone, like you have to know how to advocate for the person you're there with, right? So even it's like if you can't afford to do a doula or midwife service, I would say to just do so much like book research and to have whoever's in that room with you, whether it's your partner, your spouse, your mom, your dad, whoever, do as much research as they can so they know how to become an advocate for yourself as well. Like you just have to be, at this point, like I'm so good with being overly cautious. Like I'd rather be overly cautious than under.
Yeah, most definitely.
I think you've learned a lot in terms of how to be an advocate for not only yourself but your child due to your pregnancy experiences and Ryder. So it's
especially with Ryder, because Ryder's disease is unseen. So
they're not gonna.
It's like, for her, I can be freaking out and they're looking at me like she looks fine, but I understand that it's an unseen disease. Right. So the I'm lucky because I can't figure out how I was trying to figure out what I can't figure out how I'm trying to say it, so I'm just gonna retract that. I am lucky because her genetic doctors gave her what they call a passport. It's a medical passport. It's literally one sheet and explains from top to bottom what she has and what to do in the situation of like an emergency, how to check her glucose, how to administer like different medicines, what disease she has, since it is a rare disease. Not a lot of doctors know about it, so it's literally a passport. So what happens is if she has a fever or something, when Ryder has fevers, is not normal for her. Like the way we react to fevers as a normal healthy person, she reacts different. Like she comes completely lethargic, like she can't walk, like it's just, she's just not there. But if you take a child in that looks like her and has a fever, and it's showing all these things, they're going to just chalk it up to they have a bad fever. Let's give her some medicine. But with this paper, she gets admitted basically like immediately because they understand that that fever can be detrimental to her life. So I call it a medical passport. I don't know what the fuck they call it, but literally everybody in my family has the paper like scanned into their phone. Everyone understands if she has an emergency, you show them this paper first so that they understand what they're dealing with.
They're not just brushing her off.
So you're not just brushing her off. And I had to learn that. I had to learn, like, even when she was admitted into the hospital, like how to say, like, no, don't put the IV there. You've stuck that arm 10 times. Like, do it somewhere else. You know what I mean? Or give her something for this. Like, you have to just not let people just do whatever the fuck they want to do. Yeah. Because most I swear sometimes they become immune to their environment. Or they and they just do their job, but they don't realize, like, I'm right here. I'm still human.
Right. That's
like, explain it to me.
That's what my mom was telling me. Because my mom was telling me when she first had her first like high blood pressure, she was like, since I'm a black woman, they're just gonna brush you off. Like black people always have high blood pressure. Da 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 da. She said, no, my blood pressure is high for myself, so I need you to take further action because this is not normal for me. So I wish I would have known to say that instead of like me getting angry, like, because I'm like, dude, like, why am I sitting here? So my mom was like, next time, just be like, hey, this is not normal for me. Yeah. And I'm, this is, it's not normal. So take action.
Yeah. So you're actively learning how to advocate for yourself.
I was going to say more because this is my first time going in and actively like
trying to deal with it.
So I'm learning from my mom and learning from just different things. I'm like, okay, so this is next time. Like, no, don't brush me off. Yeah. And make sure that you are taking action.
I do think since this is something that's happened to you more than once, though, it's time to make an appointment with like finding a primary, getting your blood work done, and really figuring out like what it is. You know what I mean?
Most definitely. Yeah. I think this was, other times might have been like a little bit worse, but this was the time I'm like, okay, I need to actively make sure like I'm here for Parker. I'm here for everybody because blood pressure is nothing to mess with. Something that I've been trying to understand and check for myself, like as a reality, like, oh, let me, I don't know if I'm saying it correctly or getting the words out how I need to, but for sure taking the actions and making sure that everything is regulated and that I am okay. That a doctor that does care for me is giving me the right.
Just want some empathy and some compassion.
Just something. I needed something.
I want something.
I needed something yesterday because I waited here for 2 or 3 hours for you to just brush me off.
I think you look fine.
I think you look fine. That pissed me the whole.
Besides the health, I mean, like your health, how are you doing mentally?
I am on a roller coaster. I feel like with my grieving, I feel like the first couple of weeks I was really in shock. And I don't think that I had I don't think it's sunk in yet. And so now it has fully sunk in. The other day yesterday my mom sent me the memorial service thing to send out to everybody, And I think that hit even harder because I'm like seeing, you know, everything that my mom wants for his memorial and my dad and like how they're grieving and all these things that just like keep coming to me. And I think I've told my mom to lean on me. So some days that she will lean on me, which brings it even like okay,
it's heavier
on me.
It's a different effect.
And I feel like sometimes me being my other brother, I think he's really grieving and by himself. I check on him, but I feel like he's kind of distanced himself a little bit. Everyone grieves different, so
When you say he's distanced himself, like from you or like from the family?
I think he's always been to himself. So I think that, you know, when I reach out, it's just like, oh, like I'm trying to like bring him in more because I'm like, I need my siblings, right? Yeah. My sibling right now. But I don't know. I just feel like I hurt a lot because I think about like all the good memories and then also me still dealing with me wanting to say sorry for how I was as a sister at our older age. So I think I deal with that a lot. Today I was thinking about him a lot and just the memories, thinking about my niece. His memorial's coming up on the 15th. So I think with that coming so close, I'm thinking about how that day is going to play out and what that day means. So I think that's where I feel like I'm getting saddened all over again. Yeah. To think about how that day is going to play out, how the people I'm going to see, like my older brother's best friends from childhood and seeing them and how they're going to be and all these what ifs that I'm very nervous to.
Is your niece going to come out?
So my niece is going to come out.
About her.
I know.
I've been praying for her so
hard. My niece is going to come out. She's going to stay with my mom for 2 weeks.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so I think that's going to be really nice. My mom is going to take the kids to Hawaii. And I think that's...
Take her and Parker?
Take her and Parker. And
I want to be Parker. You know Parker be going on all the trips with your mom.
Y'all,
could you imagine?
Parker be going on every trip.
Could you imagine if our parents took the kids on a trip by themselves without us?
I want to go on this trip. I asked my mom, I said, so
you're not gonna take me?
Literally, I said, so
I'm here too.
I'm not working that week.
And what she say? I'm taking your kid. Okay,
you make your own plans.
She already had. I'm like, I can pay for my ticket.
I can sleep in the bed with Park.
Literally all the things.
Wait, is there a pull out?
I would be right there with Parker sleeping.
I for sure
tried to put your bid in.
Yes,
it didn't work.
She was like, okay, well here, you know. And I'm like, you know what? Never mind. Like, have your grandkids.
I like that.
And I was like, I still want to go Hawaai. And
I would still be trying to go.
I am still trying to go. I'm like,
send me the dates, Shannon. Maybe we can plan something with ourselves.
I've thought about that too. We can maybe go to like Palm Springs or maybe Hawaii.
Or maybe Hawaii.
Or maybe
my kid-free countdown has officially started.
That's really nice that your mom is doing that, though.
It is nice, and I think that right now she keeps telling me that the kids really help her. Yeah, that Parker's really helping her. But we for sure she has her moments where she comes back to the house and she's like, I just need a hug from my child. I need a moment. I just, like hug her and kiss her on the forehead and tell her I love her. I just couldn't it still just blows my mind. I couldn't imagine losing my first child. And with my oldest brother, that was her first and that was like her baby. But then with my dad, that's, it's not his biologically dad, but biological dad. Sorry, I said that weird.
Has he said anything or does anyone?
My dad, his dad. His dad reached out to my mom maybe it was a couple of days after, but he for sure reached out to my mom and was just like, I have no words, just like I'm here, like whatever you need. mind you, they haven't talked in so long.
Him and your mom.
Him and my mom.
Did he have a relationship with your brother?
A slight relationship. It was an estranged relationship. Since my dad was mainly his.
Yeah. He took that role.
My dad took that role to the fullest. But I think at an older age, I think that they didn't have the most healthy relationship. But I believe he's coming to the memorial, and I believe that actually I just feel like so much goes on. His other son passed away as well recently.
Wow.
So he lost two kids. So I just feel like right now,
that's crazy.
Sometimes it's very heavy.
I just feel, and I hate that I'm normally not such a heavy person. So when I come into places, I feel horrible that I'm heavy, because like even when I came to Ace's birthday party, I'm like, I hope I don't give off like sadness, because I was like, I don't want to ever like.
You didn't.
So I just like
But also, if you did, like everyone, you rightfully so can give off whatever the fuck you want to get off right now. Like no one can be upset with you of how you feel or how you grieve or how you walk into a room, because we've known you for 34 years and you've walked into a room cheerful and happy for about 34 years. So if you want to walk into a room right now and say, I just want to come here, I want to sit here, and I don't want you guys to talk to me, but I do need to sit here. You have every right to do that.
Would you like?
And I think that's why when you saw me on your camera, I literally just wanted to come into your house and just lay and just go to sleep and like have you guys be in my presence. But I was saying, every time somebody asks me how I'm doing, I just say that I'm hanging in there. I don't think there's any other way to tell somebody. I'm not going to tell people that I'm good or all these other things, because I'm not. I'm really just going through the motions of trying to understand the loss of a sibling.
So that would be your real answer. If someone said, how are you feeling or how are you doing?
I'm just hanging in there. I'm just really trying to figure it out. Today I was thinking about the last time I saw him, and he was just so happy. It was my mom's birthday party, and he was just so happy in his element with family and cooking, which he loves to do. And so I think I go back on that and just think about the smile that he had, because I never really seen him smile, how big he would smile in the pictures that I have of him. So I think just right now I just really miss him.
Yeah.
And
I think it's good that you hang on to the good memories and not try to like beat yourself up of like the what ifs. What if I did this? What if I said this? What if I acted this way? I feel like that's not going to do anything at this point. So I would just try to hang on to the stuff that you can actually physically remember and touch on. Yeah. Like and you can touch your mom's birthday party and remember it. You know what I mean? Like I would, when you go to those thoughts, because it's going to happen. It does. That's just natural. I would just try to revert back to a moment where I know I can physically picture him and see him and like think about like something good that happened in that moment, or a funny moment, or when he fell down the stairs. Like I would try to hang on to like those real things.
And like Shannon has been going through like old photos. I have, and was like was happy. It was like, oh my gosh, like look at this.
I have so many old photos that my parents have saved, and we just been digging them out and just finding like pictures of him and like all these cute pictures of like us and pictures of my mom and dad with him, and like, you know, just going down memory lane and remembering the good times, and just cherishing them, because he was the best. Now that it just sucks when somebody passed, and I know you've said this before, when somebody passes, you like, but I wish I gave them their, you know,
you give them their flowers
then. And it is such a real thing, you guys. Love on the people. Just love on the people around you. And I feel like one of my biggest things that I'm taking away from my brother's passing is just don't hold on to things too long until when the person passes and you're like, damn, I wish I would have said this or that, because it's just too real and life is too short to hold on to things. But yeah, that's my answer. And hopefully it's the most beautiful day for his memorial. My mom wants everyone to wear bright colors in the memory of him.
I saw that made me happy.
Yeah, so I think that's gonna be a really beautiful thing, because his artwork was very colorful and amazing. So
have you thought about what you're gonna wear?
Yeah, I was thinking literally on my way here.
Like she said that. Yeah.
She has a bright dress on right now, so it just made me think about it.
On the way here, I was really thinking of like, I feel like I want to wear like a really pretty. I was gonna ask his wife what his favorite color was. Mm-hmm. I think I want to ask his wife what his favorite color is and his favorite dessert, because I want to contribute to his memorial. So I think it'd be cool if I can have those things, because I feel like my parents are really in this, like, they're in a zone of like planning it. So I'm like, I want to give something meaningful. Mm-hmm. And so that was one of my thoughts today. So I want to wear something, maybe his favorite color, his favorite type of, I don't know, pattern, or something that gives him. I think that's what I want to do.
I like that.
I like that a lot.
Yeah.
Does Parker get to go?
Yes, I believe so.
Okay.
I think it's gonna be more joyous. He has his memories, but I feel like Parker, I think kids are just so like, I told my parents not to talk so in depth about what happened to him. So it hasn't been so much of a talk now more in the house. So I think he's good, but I think Parker would love to be part of that. So I've been thinking about what Parker's going to wear.
But that was my next question.
He actually has a hat. Before he passed, my dad had a bunch of his hats for some reason. I think maybe from him visiting and left him at a house. So Parker has actually been wearing his hat a lot.
That sounds like Parker.
Yeah, so he's been wearing his one of his hats a lot. So I was like, maybe he wears his hat to his memorial and like things like that.
Yeah,
I just want more of like who my brother pieces of him.
Yeah,
and not just like I'm gonna wear a bright color, but a bright color.
You want it to have like a meaning that goes back. I think I like that.
Yeah, I think just me, I've just been in the memory of like happy memories and pictures
that makes
putting
me
up
happy.
his artwork in my house.
Oh, I like that.
So I have a piece. I think the piece I showed you.
Yeah, I remember the day
it happened. Kyle came over.
We were in the garage.
I was showing her. She was like, she's like, whatever you want to, whatever you need. So I was showing her all his artwork that was at our house, and his artwork is so beautiful. Maybe I will have like put something up for you guys.
I want to see.
I definitely want to do something like even on the memorial, on the invitation. The artwork is so beautiful. My mom keeps raving over, and she's like,
"I know I was just talking to your mom on the way here.
Like, what are we doing with this artwork? Like,
I just gave my mom your mom's number, and I was like,
maybe at the memorial they can have it out, like get
some
easels and put them out.
I think they might want to do that, but yeah. So, just missing him, just going through the motions.
I don't think that there's ever a time limit on grieving.
Yeah, no. I don't think so. And I think just uplifting my parents, I've really seen them in a different light with, just my mom saying different things. And I'm like, okay, well, I'm here for you. So
I'm happy that
keep us in our prayers.
You guys are able to be there for each other. Because I know sometimes you can be very like to yourself.
I'm very to myself.
And your mom can be to herself.
Yes. So because I'm very, very to myself and with like my emotions and everything. But I'm learning in this time to release and let, and also my mom, because my mom is very, I'm an okay person and don't hug me, touch me type of person.
She's more stoic.
So it's nice to see my mom like leaning in for hugs, asking for hugs, and all like my dad leaning in for hugs, and us coming and just hugging on each other and loving on each other. So I think it's bringing our relationship closer. And it just makes you realize how much you need your family.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
I feel that.
But yeah.
It's going to be a beautiful day.
It is.
It's going to be a beautiful day.
And I'm excited. Well, I'm not excited, but I
think it's okay to say that you're excited.
I'm excited.
How beautiful it's going to be.
I'm excited to see how beautiful it is. I'm excited to
have your family
to
together.
see people I haven't seen in a long time. I thought it was really cool. My mom and dad just went to go see my cousin. They haven't seen him. That was close to my brother. And my mom went on his motorcycle. So
what?
Yes. So my brother,
Patrice,
picture your mom on a motorcycle.
I'll show you guys videos.
Oh, this is bringing out
It's bringing my mom to, and I think it's cool because my brother used to ride a motorcycle and she hated it. Hated that my brother drove a motorcycle, like furious. So for my mom to go on a motorcycle, I think that was a piece of a puzzle that she needed a fix for, or like something that she needed to be closer to my brother.
Really trying to picture this, and I'm struggling to picture it.
I have a video. She took a video while she was on the
motorcycle. Not a selfie video.
Y'all.
She was so cute. She was like, I only went on it for a little bit, but I was on it.
Patrice, you were on there.
She was on.
Check that off your bucket list.
So I thought that was, I think it's cool that, you know, my parents are like finding these different things to heal. Mm-hmm. You know, finding different things to like, get closer to him in different ways.
Yeah. That's
so, yeah.
crazy. I'm really trying to picture your mother.
Praying for these moments of like connection and life. You know, that makes me happy that your mom did that. Like it was probably exhilarating and just like something new.
Yeah.
And also bringing her closer to Evan and maybe being like, oh, this is what he would feel or this is what he would experience. Like
that adrenaline.
It's not closure, but it's like a feeling of understanding. Or it's just like, I see you, son.
I see you, son.
Oh,
she had her little helmet on. She was so cute.
I can't picture. I really can't. I just can't. I mean, I can.
I couldn't either. And
I can, but I can't.
My dad was sitting in our chat, and I was like, "Oh shit, okay." I
would have been zooming in.
I'm like, "Okay, mom
AI.
on him."
That's AI.
Right? Hell no.
So I think,
Shannon, do you have any advice this week? I think you're in a good place to give advice.
Cheyenne.
I have advice. One, make sure you guys, if you guys feel anything like medical wise, check on yourself. I think that was my biggest aha moment of the week, advice, whatever you want to call it. But if you're not feeling right and you've been dealing with something, just go to the doctor. And whether it's a good experience or not, just make sure you're checking on yourself. And especially as women, as Black women, it's necessary.
Yeah.
Cheyenne, I feel like you can give us some advice on how to be a self-advocate or advocacy.
I think with advocacy, you just have to do your own research. Like, not believe the first thing that someone may tell you, and read books and like do research. And I feel like books are better research than like Google. You can find a lot on Google, but then you're like weeding out what's true, what's not true, what's credited, like what actually came from a doctor. So I just rely on a lot of books and articles. And to me, the more educated you are on something, the more of an advocate you can be for something.
I like that. Kyle? Is your eye twitching? Are you okay?
What the hell?
My eye started itching. I'm trying to think. I feel like I should give some advice too, but like
you don't have to.
I don't really have any right now.
Do you have a WTF?
Well, yeah, I'm trying to move into this house.
Bruh, I'm so over you in this house.
That's my WTF.
If y'all want to know what's going on this week, the place needs to be repiped because it's old. And I had someone come in and check for mold, and there's mold. And
I'm happy that you're going very detailed in depth before you move in.
Yeah, it's been a process, and I'm very exhausted, and I'm really, really would like to get moved. I think people think that I'm like intentionally lollygagging, and I'm not at all. Like, I am going crazy in a 1-bedroom with my 2 kids. Whatever. Anyways,
I don't mean to laugh at you, friend.
Yeah, she does.
I love you so much because I will move in.
At this point, I can laugh. All I can do is just laugh, because I'll be like, hey guys, I think I can move in next week.
I literally thought you were about
moving party, and then I'll be like, so this valve is illegal in the house, and it's like,
because it's a super old house. No,
it's old, and it's not like I didn't buy the house. It's not like everything is just in my wheelhouse. There's other tenants that are upstairs. It's like the
whole thing.
It's a whole thing. Like, I was talking to one of my friends about it, and they were like, so you're a building manager now? And I was like, no, I'm not.
I'm not even in the building.
I'm not even in the building. And I think that's also another frustrating thing. I've been like buying things for, like, you know, the boys. There's stuff in the house that is fully set up to like live in. Yeah. It's just not
livable.
Livable yet.
I'm cracking up.
So yeah, just pray for my patience, and pray for things to please move along.
Pray for her to get into the house,
because if my kids come back from the summer and we're not living in this house,
we're all gonna go crazy.
I'm literally at that point, I'm gonna be like, God really does not want me to live here. It's just like every obstacle that could come up has been coming up, and
maybe the obstacles are
just to overcome everything.
Yeah, and then once you get in, it's gonna be like, wow,
it's gonna be beautiful.
All these obstacles to get here was a lot, but well worth it.
So much. It is really gonna be well worth it. Like,
it is. I'm excited.
Yeah, and the
go
house
party
it's
in your
such
house.
a cute place. So just pray.
We're praying.
Pray for those obstacles to be removed, because God knows I'm trying to get moved.
Can I say a quick WTF?
Yeah.
I'm done. My WTF, I was cracking up. Me and Parker went to Foot Locker. I was trying to get shoes. Checked out, this one guy kept asking me questions. And I'm like, all right. Ha ha ha. He was like, he looked at my shirt, and he was like, oh, it had like had a vodka bottle on it. I was like, oh, he's like, oh, you drink vodka? I said, no. And he was like, I was like, I did that all in my 20s. And he's like, oh, you're not 20? And I'm like, okay, this guy.
All right, gotta go, sir.
Exactly. So I was like, okay, just ring up my stuff and let's go. And Parker was sitting right there. This young boy, he was a boy. Came out the door. While we walked out, came out the Foot Locker, and he was like, hey, are you single?
Oh, no.
And I said, no, I am not. And he was like, well, we can be friends. No. I said, no, all in front of, mind you, all of this in front of Parker.
Oh my God.
So we walked away, and I looked up Parker, and I said, hey, Park, how did that make you feel?
What did Parker say?
He gave me a face, like he raised his eyebrows and was like, girl. Basically, that was his face. And then he was like, I was like, what does that face mean? He's like, I'm about to call my dad to come beat him up.
Oh my God.
He was like, why is he talking to you? That was my WTF.
Oh, Parker's gonna be
Parker
protective.
was real serious. He was like, I'm just gonna call dad and come have him beat him up. He's like, what's up? I was cracking up because
come on, little ass Robert, come beat the boy up.
No, it's Parker being like, hey dad, some man's trying to get at my mom, can you beat him up?
And he's probably like, Robert,
let him have her.
Like, right, like, what is your dad? It just made me laugh because I'm like, what is your dad about to do? Your dad probably has,
he ain't fighting over me, boy. Right. He ain't fighting for me over here.
In Parker's mind, he was
that's how he figured it out.
About to handle. He's like, I'm gonna get my dad, and when he come back down here and beat this man up. So I thought that was my WTF funny moment.
No, that was great. Cute. That was great. I like that.
Yeah.
The young boys.
Right. Well, thank you guys for tuning in this week. We're not in our normal place, but we'll be back in the studio next week. So we'll be back next week to do more of the speak pipes. Yes. So don't forget to record yours. We'll put the link back up on our Instagram and on our social pages.
Yes,
so check out that link and record, because I actually really like doing this.
I really like Speak Pipes.
I feel like it's like a cool way to engage with you guys.
Yes. And hear your voices.
Yeah, exactly. Don't forget to follow us on Instagram and on YouTube at Think Loud Crew. And then you can follow me at Shy Not Shy.
And you can follow me at Hair by Shannon C.
And you can follow me at R. Kyle Lynn.
And don't forget to tell your crew about our crew.